Hi everybody, it's 314 Reactor here. Things are going a little bit crazy now, so it's time to sit back and relax. Let's have a look at some DirectX 11 and Unreal Tournament. So the other week 1.4 got released. It's now added support in for Star Trek Klingon Honor Guard, which I really want to try out at some point. Support for Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Support for Deus Ex with some fixes as well. There's also a new option called SSR Model Intensity to customize reflections affecting models only. So if you don't want too many reflections on models, then you can turn that down. And fix the bug in Unreal Gold where maps with full screen fog maps gets displayed no textures. And fix the memory leak and fast Alt Tab option. So I guess that means you can Alt Tab out of the game easier? Yeah, it must be. And fix Tessellation causing flickering screen in a mod for Unreal Gold and Unreal Tournament. So let's go over the installation of this. So the installation is very similar to prior games. The common folder, drag that over into the system folder of Unreal Tournament, overwrite anything in there, and then go to Unreal 436 and drag over the Tessellation CFG and D3D11 driver DLL, overwrite whatever's in there, and then you want to go to Unreal Tournament INI file, and then you want to delete out the Direct3D11 settings. D3D11 render device, you just want to take all that basically and just get rid of it. And then hit save, and then it'll be regenerated and it will make sure you have the newest settings from the newest version. So let's dive into the game and see what we can see. Oh, but before we do, I should do a quick reminder that the Tessellation CFG file is what controls the amount of tessellation on certain models. So if you see any weapon models that look too ballooned or a bit wrong, you can come in here and turn that down. So let's dive into the game. So here we are in game. Let's go to the usual system console preferences job to see what's in there. And as you can see, under rendering, DirectX 11, it's all the settings you could ever want under there, including the SSR model intensity. So you can tone that down if you would like. There's also an option for tessellate only in CFG, so that means it will tessellate models that are only in that CFG file, I believe. And again, allow that customization to prevent ballooning. SSR intensity, I like having at 1, so I'm going to put that to 1, but I'm going to leave the model intensity at 0.5 to see what that's like. Fast Alt Tab, let's turn that on. We'll have a little experiment with that. Okay, I think we're ready to dive on in. Alrighty, so let's give Fast Alt Tab a try. So press Alt Tab, boom. Seems to be about the same as what it was before. Alrighty, so here's fast Alt Tabbing off. Let's give that a go. Alt Tab happening. Yeah, again, it seems about the same. Then again, going back into the game seemed a bit slower there. That might be easier to see when the video's been edited. So yeah, I can't see too much of a difference between those two settings, fast Alt Tab on or off, but I'm going to leave it on anyway. So it could just be if you have a slow computer or something, it might be a lot better, or it might just cause less issues if you do it frequently. Anyway, on with the game. Okay, so here we are with the default 0.5 set in the SSR model reflections setting. As you can see, it's much more subtle than the reflections that are in the environment, which are all set to 1, so 100%. So this is about 50% reflection on the models. Much more subtle on the bio rifle there. Shock rifle. Much more subtle as well. Same for the pulse gun. Still see the Ripper reflecting in itself there, with the blade reflecting in the main chassis of the gun. So that's cool. Ah, this looks so cool down here. It's almost like a hall of mirrors. Guns reflect a bit weirdly though when they get close to the walls, but that's very odd. Next up, minigun. Very, very nice. Flat cannon, again, much more subtle. And especially on the rocket launcher, much more subtle. Redeemer as well was pretty much like a mirror when it was set to 1 in my last video. So yeah, that's toned down majorly. And the sniper rifle as well, again, much more subtle. Still see the reflections in the world, of course, but just much less extreme. Just for a quick comparison, let's have a look at what it's like with the SSR model setting up to 1, so 100% reflections, just like the environment. And here it is with the SSR on the model setting up to 1. So as you can see, it's pretty much like the cleanest weapon ever. But that does look really cool. I like that. But I can understand why some people might not like it, but... And again, the Redeemer that's pretty much a mirror. Really cool. So yeah, every gun just reflects everything perfectly. That's cool. The reflection of the plasma there in the floor. That's quite awesome. I think the reflections have to be at a certain height though before they reflect in the floor. Not sure why, but still looks very cool. And oh yeah, the top of the shock rifle there. Again, super clean. Just like a mirror. That is crazy. Oh, hello. Looks like something going on with the smoke effects there that it doesn't like. Oh, not noticed that before. That's interesting. The smoke effects seem to be wiping out the reflections. The rocket smoke effects don't appear to do it. Don't think that happened last time. I think that might be a new bug. Interesting. Yeah, it doesn't appear to be happening with other guns. I think it's literally just the smoke from the grenades that's doing it for some reason. Sorry, just get my thumbnail there. Alrighty, so that's with the settings in the middle and maxed out. Let's try something more subtle. Alrighty, so I set the SSR model reflections to be at 15%, and as you can see, still slightly there, but far less pronounced. Yeah, much more subtle effect. So it still looks metallic, still looks good, but no longer completely looks like it's soaked in water or something. And you still get that subtle reflection of the blade there. Ah, and the barrels of the minigun, as you'd expect, still looks quite reflective. Same with the flat cannon. And same with the rocket launcher. And oh yeah, look at the Redeemer. Still there, but it's not like a mirror anymore. And then of course the sniper rifle as well. Yep, still see the reflection like in the scope there, but not as extreme. Still think I prefer the setting up 100% though, just because I love those reflections. So that shows how customizable that is. I believe this also applies to the player models, so let's check that out. Let's spawn in some bots on another map and we'll have a look at the player models at 100% SSR reflection, 50% and then 1.5%, or 15%, sorry. Okay, so here we are on some Cybrosis with the SSR model reflection intensity set at 100%, so we can see how shiny these player models get. Let's find someone who's standing more still. Nope, they're all frozen running. Okay. So as you can see, even with it at 100%, the character models aren't excessively reflective, so it doesn't look too bad. I mean, you can certainly see it a bit there in the backpacks and stuff, and a bit on her arm there, but it's not too bad. Doesn't make them look like made of glass or anything. Yeah, their skin isn't too affected by it. But the armor seems to be. Yeah, that's cool. So that's not even too bad, even at maximum. I think see he's a bit shiny. He's been oiled up a bit, but it's not too bad. It's not overly distracting. And on their weapons as well, it's not too bad. So yeah, that's not too bad. Most of the reflections are in the armor rather than on the skin or the hair. So that actually looks pretty good. Not too distracting, unlike the weapons. When the weapons are set to 100%, they turn into mirrors, but the player models not so much, which is good. But let's tone that down to 50% and see how they look. Alright, so here we are with the models set to 50% reflectivity. You can see already the guns, of course, from the previous test obviously look a lot less reflective. So let's check out some of the characters. Not really noticeable there too much. Bit on the armor. Yeah, much more subtle. Basically, oh, a little bit of reflection there on his arm. Way less on the armor as well. A little bit there on the backpack. See again, far less reflectivity. Much less noticeable. Still a bit in the armor. See, that's way less noticeable than it was at 100%. It's still very noticeable in the guns, but the player models, not so much. Which again, depending on how shiny you like the game, you can adjust it to be how you want. Again, mostly seems to be confined to the armor at this point. Oh, when you get up close, there's still a bit of reflectivity in the skin there. Not too noticeable without getting really close to them. Yeah, 50% appears to be a good mix there, as the guns still have quite a lot of reflectivity, as you can see. Let's try even more subtle. Turn the model reflections down to 15%. Alright, so here we are at 15% model reflectivity. Let's see how reflective the characters are. So yeah, just I thought basically zero reflectivity. Even off of their armor, there's like no reflectivity. Even their guns as well, just nothing really being reflected there. See a tiny little bit, but not much. So the character models appear to be far less affected by the screen space reflections. So I think a good compromise, if you don't want the weapons too shiny, but want them shiny enough, but also don't want the characters too shiny, then yeah, I'd say 0.5, 50% is the way to go. I think 15% is just a little bit too low on the guns, and a little bit too low on the character's armor as well. It's taken that metallic effect from the armor away. But I quite like the screen space reflections, so I think I'm going to set both environment and character models to be 100%. So I think that's covered off everything in this update. The fast alt tabbing and the SSR model intensity option, and I haven't as of yet seen a issue with memory leak or any crashing, so I think that bug is hopefully squashed as well, because in 1.3 I did get a crash while recording, but this hasn't happened this time. So I think that covers off pretty much everything. The main parts of that release, the 1.4 release, were the customizable model reflections and the additional games that can be supported. So I'm going to try and grab myself a copy of Klingon Honor Guard and give the game a go with the DirectX11 renderer, because I think that'd be really cool to get these effects on a Star Trek game. That'd be really awesome to see. But until then, if you're chilling out at home because of quarantine, or you're feeling ill, or feeling a little bit worried about what's going on, try not to worry too much. Just look after yourself and keep calm and play Unreal Tournament. That's what I say. Play Unreal Tournament, download the DirectX 11 renderer, which I'll link down below, along with the enhanced texture packs that I'm using here as well. Now's the time to play games and just chill out. So I'll probably have another video this week. I've got another project on the go, with Minecraft and mind reading technology that I've been working on. Similar to what I did with my mind patterning part 1 tech. So keep an eye out for that. Very close to finishing off the code for that, so that'll be cool. That'll be where you can kind of control Minecraft with your mind by relaxing or exciting your mind to change how the world reacts to you. And then yeah, I've got a few other projects on the go as well, so keep an eye out. I may have a double upload this week just because, you know, people are going to need a bit more YouTube in their lives, a bit more 314 React. Keep safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you very much.